Hey, what is going on, Guardians? TBL here, coming back at you guys on a nice, lazy Sunday afternoon. I just got back inside, had a little bit of a barbecue today, and oh man, I don't mean to start videos off by talking about it, but man, we had some Kobe beef out there. We made some charbroiled Kobe beef burgers. That stuff was absolutely on point. It slapped me in the face, and I have to start this video off just talking about that. It was good. Put it on some artisan buns. It was like that Sara Lee hamburger buns. It was a little bit sweet, mixed in perfectly with the seasoning we used. On point. Absolutely on point. Is there a better way to spend a Sunday than by just being outside in the nice, cool air? It's blowing, it's beautiful, it's bright, having a barbecue. Well, I guess you could be playing video games. That's pretty good too. But we are back here to talk to you guys about a few things. We're going to be covering a little bit of the news for Bungie and Destiny 2, as well as talking about some other stuff going on with the channel. As a matter of fact, we'll start off with some of that stuff first. Happy February, guys. It's almost halfway through the month. Can you believe it? It feels like January just ended a day or so ago, but we're already almost basically at Valentine's Day. I hope you guys didn't forget, and if you did, there's your warning. Go to ProFlowers or Edible Arrangements or something like that. Make sure you got the lady or guy in your life something nice. I'm just here to remind you so you don't get that stink eye, a day or so before Valentine's Day pops up and they haven't gotten anything from you. I'm trying to help out your relationships here. This is the Sunday show. It's a variety show. We give all kinds of life advice, whether it's barbecue styles and whatnot or Valentine's Day advice. Get something edible that, won't drop petals everywhere, and just don't forget, it's a few days away. Get it done. But in terms of the channel, quite a lot of things have been going on. We've started Twitch streaming basically on the reg. We're doing that on the regular. Our 11 a.m. to 1 o'clock p.m. stream is now held over on my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/TheBlackLink. Nighttime streams are held here on YouTube, right here at youtube.com/TheBlackLink, so you guys don't really have to go anywhere for that. But the Twitch streams have been an absolute ton of fun. I'm really enjoying that, and we've seen some great growth over there on the Twitch channel. We're already several thousand followers in and quite a few subs, and to everybody who's subscribed over on the Twitch channel, thank you guys so much for that support. You guys turn up literally for every single live stream. And it's kind of weird. It's kind of nice to go live on a platform and have most of the people who are following me or sub to that platform get notified. Unlike here on YouTube where like a good 90% of the people subbed to the channel don't get any sort of notification when videos or live streams go up, so they just wind up missing out on that content, and that makes me sad because, of course, growing on YouTube is already hard enough without the algorithms and the AI bots and whatnot working against you. But like I said, things have been pretty good this month. I'm really enjoying streaming over on Twitch. Monster Hunter World could not be any better. As a matter of fact, you guys are probably watching some Monster Hunter World gameplay right here. I have been playing that game non-stop since it came out a few weeks ago. I've put over 110 hours into this game over 2 weeks. I haven't played anything like this, anything this heavily since Destiny 1 came out 4 or so years ago. And it's good. It's really good to have that feeling back in my life. But things are pretty good here on the channel. You have noticed a bit of a shift in content from Destiny over to Monster Hunter World. No, it's nothing so hyperbolic as me being done with Destiny or anything like that. Because it's a game, and I'll come back to it when it becomes fun to play again, just like I did with The Division and other games of that sort. And I do believe Destiny 2 is going to get better in the future, especially my game plan for it is basically I feel like it's going to be back to being basically Destiny 1. Hopefully by the time the expansion, which is confirmed to be coming out later this year, sometime probably around September or October. That's basically been confirmed that they are working on a large Taken King style expansion, and hopefully by the time that comes out, they will have reversed course on a lot of the silly changes they made with Destiny 2. And it'll be a bit closer to Destiny 1, and when that happens, you can definitely expect me to be back on top of that game. Or sooner if they happen to push through a lot of the changes that I'm hoping to see. And then we'll get back to making content and whatnot on the regular for Destiny 2 here on the channel. But for right now, it is all Monster Hunter World. I've been doing live streams of that. Those have been a ton of fun, both on Twitch and on YouTube. You guys have really been turning up for it, and I really have to say thank you for the support. You guys have made live streaming so much fun, and if if I could just wake up every day and do nothing but live stream with you guys, it can kind of be like a TV show, you know. Most studies show that kids these days and young adults and whatnot don't really watch a lot of TV. And that's because their TV's basically been replaced with live streams of you know, their favorite celebrity couples or whatnot on Instagram or something, or you know, people on Twitch or YouTube streaming video games and all kinds of stuff. And I could really see that being where our channel goes in the future, you know, kind of being the place you come to every single day from 11 to 1 p.m., 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. to catch us live streaming whatever it is we're doing that day, and then also catching in on the normal style videos, guides, and commentaries and whatnot that I will still be producing here. But man, like I said, if I could get up every day and just like stream for you guys, and that could be like a viable career path, oh my gosh, it's so much fun. And thankfully, with all the support we've been seeing, who knows, before long that might actually be a viable possibility. I promised you guys a couple of big changes a couple months ago, and while I haven't unveiled what some of those are yet, I will say that they are moving swimmingly. It's going to be some exciting stuff coming forward. But anyways, I just wanted to give you guys a quick update on the channel. Things are doing pretty good. We are still experiencing a lot of issues over on the YouTube side of things. I am still experiencing the whole subscriber loss thing. That hasn't slowed down or stopped at all, but I just don't let that bother me anymore. And we are still having an issue with subs not being notified. Not a day goes by when I don't get hit up on Twitter or messages on Discord saying, hey, I didn't get any notifications for like, I don't know, the last, let me flip through these papers here, the last 37 videos. And it's like, well, yeah, that seems to be a thing that's happening on YouTube right now. So we're pushing through that. We're trying to figure out why exactly that's going on and how exactly we can fix it. But thankfully, in spite of all that nonsense, we've still been experiencing growth. We've still been having a ton of fun both on Twitch and on YouTube, and I cannot wait to move forward with it. But alright, there we go. That's enough flapping our jaws about the channel. Let's talk a little bit of some Destiny 2. This week at Bungie, or last week now, I guess it's Sunday. We got some interesting news there. Nothing really sandboxy, but we did learn a bit more from Christopher Barrett and from senior design lead Tyson Green, as well as designer John Favaro, about how exactly they're going to be changing Nightfall strikes. And we're going to go through this very quickly. Basically, they talked about Nightfalls, how those are going to be changing moving forward. We know that they're getting rid of the old timer system from Destiny 2 and going back to the score system from Destiny 1. And I thought that was really interesting, because I thought the high scoring system towards the end of Destiny 1 was a far superior system for Nightfalls. It made it so much fun just seeing numbers and trying to beat your high score and whatnot, and it had a little bit less intrinsic stress than what was added with the timer system in Destiny 2, where you only have a limited amount of time to complete a Nightfall. Now you'll be able to go through those Nightfalls as quickly or as slowly as you want, and it's more so going to be based around the high score that you land. Here's what Christopher Barrett had to say. Nightfall should be a challenging test that only the bravest Guardians dare face. Fire teams of any size should be able to participate, from organized clan groups to skilled solo players. Players should be able to determine their own challenge level by going slow and steady or fast and wild, with elective modifiers to test the most hardcore veterans. Your final score will separate the best from the rest, and with high risk comes high reward. Each terrible villain that players face should have a very rare and powerful unique item, themed to them, that tumbles to the ground as they collapse into a pile of bones. Conquering Nightfall should be a badge of honor, with the best players able to show off their achievements with new dynamic emblems and exclusive auras. Now, right off the bat, I already have to say I love the way that sounds. Changing things up so that, you know, it's more score-based, giving bosses and whatnot unique themed loot, like, you know, kind of like the strike-specific loot we had back in Destiny 1. I'm so happy they're moving back to that system, and I really have to say it's about time. So, better late than never, but I'm very happy to see it's coming back. We are getting Nightfall scoring, and here's some of the things you need to know about it. Nightfall scoring is going to reward you for engaging and defeating enemies instead of just running past them. If you've ever played any sort of strike throughout the history of Destiny, you know that speedrunning is definitely a thing. Skip the mobs, head to the objective. They're also going to try avoiding overemphasizing specific mechanics like precision kills that highlight certain areas of the sandbox and or punish other areas, so that players are the ones who determine the most effective meta. Now, how are they going to be doing this? Well, the updated mechanics are going to look like this. Scoring is going to be team-based and the sum of individual performances. Scoring is primarily driven by kills and secondarily by orb generation. They want you to find what works best for clearing strikes instead of telling you which weapons to use, but they do want to coordinate use of supers and other team support mechanics to contribute to high scores. And yes, your score is going to bleed over time. They're watching this one closely, so they might change it in the future. But as you take longer to go through the strike, your score will start to bleed out, kind of incentivizing you to continue actively playing and building up points. And finally, scoring is going to cut off after a time threshold. At 15 minutes, new points earned are reduced by 50%. At 18 minutes, you stop earning new points and it's a race to finish the run and post your score. In this way, they're kind of keeping the Nightfall timer mechanic, but rather than it ushering in a fail state, they're just having it so that after a certain period of time, after 15 minutes, you start earning 50% of your score. After 18 minutes, you stop earning points at all, so you just have to try to get to the end as quickly as possible at that point. And one of the reasons for that is because they kind of want to avoid some of the problems and exploits they saw with like Prison of Elders, where you could just spawn trap groups of enemies, build up a ton of points, and then never have to worry about modifiers or anything else for the rest of your run. And I guess I can understand that. But on top of these scoring changes, we're also getting challenge cards. These are items that offer ways to boost the challenge in exchange for score multipliers. In patch 1.1.3, which is coming up in about 2 weeks, there will be a challenge card that drops from completing a Nightfall run. It has some customization options to help tune the challenge level to what you and your fire team are capable of. This is kind of cool. It allows you to activate specific modifiers that will give you a score multiplier so that you get more points from just killing enemies and generating orbs and Nightfalls. The example they gave us had these two modifiers. If your entire fire team falls in a restricted zone where you can't respawn, everyone will be returned to orbit. That's right, it's the old school Nightfall modifier, where if your entire fire team dies, boom, back to orbit you go. And then the second one was solar damage is increased slightly from all sources. Now, does that last one sound a little familiar? Well, it should. Sounds an awful lot like the old school elemental burns from Destiny 1. And as a matter of fact, we got a little bit of a list of some of the modifiers we're going to be getting first when this stuff goes into effect. First off, we're getting Void, Solar, and Arc Singe. This is basically the new age version of an elemental burn. They currently provide a 25% increase to player and enemy damage of the corresponding element. So just like in Destiny 1, you're not going to be the only one who gets a benefit from this. You're also going to be taking more damage from enemies who hit you with elemental shots matching the Singe for that week. Make sure you're paying attention in strikes because that's going to hurt in the Prestige mode. Next up, we've got Extinguish, where fire team wipes will of course return the team to orbit, and then Power Modifier, where you can voluntarily decrease your own power to gain a score bonus, so you deal less damage but you build more points. Now, those are of course just initial modifier offerings. This release is focusing more on how the system as a whole feels so they can get feedback on the core experience to fine-tune it before they dive headfirst to creating additional modifiers. And I think overall that's a pretty strong start. Bringing in a universal elemental burn like we had in Destiny 1 was definitely the right move to make. Prism was cool and all, but it just didn't feel as visceral, didn't feel as fun to use. Even with the whole dual primary system, as just having a standard elemental burn did in Destiny 1. So I'm happy to see that back, but I'm definitely spooked by Extinguish. Oh man, the nightmares of wiping in a Nightfall back in year 1 of Destiny 1 and getting your Guardian behind, sent packing back to orbit to start it all over again. Oh man, it's gonna make streaming Nightfalls fun again. And of course, along with this stuff, we're also getting some brand new rewards for both normal and prestige mode as well. In addition to having strike-specific loot coming back, we're also going to be getting specific emblems that are tied to strikes and whatnot, and auras that are tied to those strikes. Players will be able to see their own high scores on new Nightfall emblems that are going to be available as drops in each Nightfall strike. These emblems are also now the source of auras, which are automatically enabled if your personal score is above a global threshold. At first, the thresholds will be set based on what they think might be tough for players to reach. But as you blow those global timers out of the water with your high score, you'll be unlocking auras that you can equip to yourself based off of these emblems. This is cool. The aura system in Destiny kind of feels like a little bit of a throwaway thing. I don't even know why it shows up on your character menu. But tying specific new auras to these earnable engrams is definitely something worthy of a thumbs up for me. I'm someone who definitely liked to speedrun strikes or to build up high scores in Destiny 1, so I'm definitely going to be looking to get a high score on basically all of the strikes in the game. I just wish the auras in and of themselves looked a little bit better. Just having that little halo over your head is kind of a step back from having your entire head engulfed in flame, like we did with the Nightfall aura in Destiny 1. But at the very least this time, your aura is going to have something special tied to it. Reaching a personal high score over their global threshold will also unlock a Fireteam-wide buff that boosts Vanguard token drops in that strike by 25%. So if you've mastered a strike like the Inverted Spire and gotten a worthy enough high score to earn the aura for that strike, well, awesome, you're going to be getting more rewards whenever you run that strike in the future. You'll also be getting your teammates more rewards. And I think that's overall pretty dope. But there we go, Guardians. Those are the changes coming to Nightfalls and the Prestige Nightfall. Sometime in the future, hopefully with patch 1.1.3 in just a few weeks. They talked about a few other things like raid changes, but I'll leave that for a later video. I think this one's gone on more than long enough. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope your Sunday has been going as excellently as mine has. But I hope it doesn't go too fast. After all, we know Monday is just around the corner. That's it for this one, Guardians. Be sure to let me know what you all think of these changes and your Sunday down in the comment section below. I hope you guys are having a good one. I might head back and start double dipping in that barbecue because, is it so good. So as always, I'm the BlackLink. You Guardians stay frosty, and I'll catch you all later.